Prem is a simple guy who is in love with a kind-hearted princess, Maithili. When he learns he looks like her fiancé, Prince Vijay, he pretends to be him for a few days till the injured prince recovers. In Ayodhya, actors are preparing to perform Ram Leela, or a play on Lord Rama's life. Chaubey, who organizes the event, doesn't care for the actors' needs. He feels there's no point in fixing their props and doesn't want to spend money. This sounds like a successful play. All actors know that once Prem Dilwale learns Chaubey is being a miser, he will take care of the problem. The play begins with goddess Sita picking flowers in a garden. Some goons whistle at the actor when the sari falls, so Prem drags them to the stage. Prem loves to make a grand entrance before he begins narrating the play. He also hates people who misbehave, so he makes them dress up as women to understand the actor's plight. He introduces the crowd to the major characters in Ram and Sita's love story. Ravan's toe starts aching in the middle of the play, so Prem makes Chaubey dress up as Ravan to continue it. He is a wonderful performer, and everyone is impressed with his act. Kanhaiya, who dresses as Sita for the play, doesn't like that all their proceeds go to the Upahar Foundation. The foundation is run by Princess Maithili of Devgar. Prem has been in love with her since the time he saw her at the flood relief camp. He watches as Maithili lovingly gel with the villagers and offers them supplies. He arrives at the foundation's office and asks around for Maithili. He learns that she's going to Pritampur next week, which is a few miles away from Ayodhya. Maithili is engaged to the Prince of Pritampur, Vijay Singh. That's a promising start for a love story. She's heading out there for his coronation as king. Prem doesn't think someone of her stature will meet him. The woman at the foundation knows about her generosity and asks Prem to personally hand over his donation box. Prem takes Kanhaiya along to Pritampur. Prince Vijay is busy with press meetings before he inherits the late king's estate worth billions. His devoted aide, Diwan Saheb, has arranged for guests to arrive from all parts of the world for a coronation. The journalist finds the concept of a coronation funny. Vijay feels following traditions is an important part of being a king. He also looks exactly like Prem. Who could have seen that coming? Vijay's younger brother, Ajay, challenges him to a sword fight. Vijay has the upper hand, but they both eventually bully Chirag Singh with their swords. Chirag is the estate's CEO and a close friend of the family. As they discuss details of the coronation, Vijay's secretary Samira helps him out. Maithili is about to arrive at the palace, so Sanjay asks for Vijay's permission to make the arrangements. He is the head security officer of the royal palace. This sounds promising. Ajay feels Vijay should receive Maithili at the airport, but he wants to avoid the public spectacle. Diwan reminds him that it's tradition for his sisters to receive the princess. When Vijay's mother passed away in his childhood, his father assured him he would always have two other mothers. Vijay has been trying to maintain relations with Ajay, but his sisters, Chandrika and Radhika, live separately. The king wished for all the siblings to live together, but there was a huge distance between them. Diwan convinces Vijay to pay his sisters a visit, and he heads towards their estate in the royal carriage. Radhika throws a football at him in anger. Chandrika also refuses to talk to him without the presence of their family lawyer, Pandari. Prem angrily heads back to the carriage and asks the driver, Chutan, to take him home. He leaves Diwan behind and is angry that he tried to mend things because of his advice. When Vijay puts his headphones on and closes his eyes, Chutan locks all doors and makes some adjustments. He then jumps on a tree, so the horses lead Vijay to an end. Vijay wakes up and realizes what's happening to him. He does his best to save himself but falls from a great height. Some watch him fall from a distance. Prem's bus makes a pit stop so people can freshen up. Prem is eager to reach Pritampur, but decides to take something special for Maithili on the way. Sanjay drives up to the same market to get a lot of medicines. That's not suspicious at all. Prem learns that all the watermelons have been purchased by Sanjay for the palace. Prem knocks on his window to negotiate. Sanjay is shocked to see how much he resembles Vijay, and offers to let Prem get a brief meeting with Maithili. Prem wants to thank Sanjay by showing him one of his plays. Sanjay asks Prem and Kanhaiya to wait near the royal fort while he takes care of some work. Sanjay enters a secret passage and finds Diwan tending to Vijay. Diwan knows only a few trusted followers of the king are left. He insists on keeping Vijay's condition a secret, because he knows there can be another attack. The doctor feels Vijay got lucky because Diwan found him on time, or he wouldn't have survived. His coronation is in 4 days, but his head injuries are too severe. The doctor is still optimistic about signs of recovery. They hear music, and Sanjay shows how Prem looks exactly like Vijay. And yet, no one is thinking they could be twins. Sanjay knows the only way to keep Vijay safe is if there's another fake prince outside in the public. Diwan thinks of Prem as a clown and refuses to pretend anything with him. Right on cue, Diwan gets a call from Maithili's grandma, who has been trying to reach Vijay. Diwan assures her the prince is just busy, and they will all come to receive Maithili when she arrives. Diwan realizes he can't disappoint all the guests and the princess till Vijay recovers. He agrees to work with Prem, but Kanhaiya thinks they might be longtime twins. Finally, someone said it. Diwan is sure their faces being similar is a coincidence. Prem knows he's a great actor, but refuses to deceive Maithili by posing as her fiancé for 4 days. Sanjay makes Prem understand that he's protecting Maithili by ensuring she doesn't know about Vijay's attack. Diwan tries to offer money, but Prem refuses to take anything to help Maithili. Diwan is annoyed by Prem's carefree behavior as he tries to attach a fake mustache to him. Sanjay asks Kanhaiya to pretend he's a senior photographer who has specially arrived to capture the royal coronation. Kanhaiya gets into his role and chooses Nadan Masuri as his fake name. Prem teases Diwan about the shoes because he knows how particular he is. He also knows Diwan doesn't know how to have fun and wants Prem to follow specific rules. Surely, this will go as planned. Diwan asks Prem to pull the blue book from the shelf, which opens a secret passage into Vijay's office. He shows Prem some videos of how Vijay speaks and behaves. Prem is disappointed he's supposed to eat boiled food because of Vijay's weak digestive system. Because that is the biggest issue here. Vijay can also speak a lot of languages. Diwan doesn't think that will be a problem because he will announce that the prince is observing a vow of silence. Diwan shows Prem the photos of Vijay's stepsisters. He knows capturing Chutan will help them close in on Vijay's attackers. Diwan already suspects that Ajay, Samira and Chirag are involved in this attack. Ajay is worried that Vijay might still be alive and that Diwan is hiding him somewhere. 2 points for guessing right. Chirag assures him no one can survive the fall Vijay experienced. Ajay pays Chirag for planning the accident and Samira for informing him that Vijay is going to meet his sisters unescorted. Ajay is frustrated because the late king made Vijay responsible for passing all of Ajay's bills. Since Ajay has found Vijay didn't pass any of them, he wants to end him. Samira is worried Ajay will find out that Vijay cleared his bills. Chirag is gaslighting Ajay too and feels these royals don't have time to check these details. Ajay panics when he learns Vijay plans to receive Maithili at the station. Sanjay introduces Samira to Kanhaiya and asks her to take care of all his needs on Vijay's orders. Sanjay wants Samira away from Prem so their plan can work. He also wants Kanhaiya to pretend he's in love with Samira to keep her occupied. Before Maithili's arrival, Diwan keeps asking Prem to behave. Prem is speechless when he spots Maithili and gives the flowers to her. Diwan makes Maithili feel comfortable and asks about her grandma. She was supposed to come with Maithili but couldn't travel because of her knee issues. Diwan informs Maithili about Vijay's vow of silence and claims it's because he wants inner peace. He serves them lunch and reminds Prem he's supposed to stay silent, like he needs another reminder. Maithili is losing patience because she feels Vijay is punishing her for something. They have hardly met 5 times since they got engaged. She knows he's only marrying her because of the late king's orders. She doesn't want to be a burden on him but doesn't want to live like strangers in a marriage. She offers to break off their engagement if his heart isn't in it. She really made the problem easier. Prem decides to break his silence and thinks she should express her feelings more. He feels he would have understood if she told him all this earlier. He wants to make up for Vijay's misbehavior and asks Diwan to take them to all the places from his childhood. As Diwan gives a detailed tour of Vijay's school, Prem takes Maithili aside and claims he used to swim bare in the lake. He asks Diwan to play along and threatens to tell her he swam too. Diwan looks like he could really use these jokes. Samira tries to spy on them, but Kanhaiya pretends he wants her full attention. AJ doesn't believe Vijay has come out of the accident unharmed. Chirag finds footage of Diwan scolding Prem and knows he doesn't talk to the prince like that. They should really be more careful. Ajay greets Maithili and feels it's great Vijay is taking her on a romantic walk. He reminds her of the polo tournament Vijay played on their engagement day. Maithili reminds Prem, or in this case Vijay, that he invited all his friends to meet her that day. While joking around, she mentioned that she likes him without his mustache. Vijay apparently got angry and shouted at her in front of everyone. Prem apologizes for Vijay's mistakes and asks for a diary to write down all her complaints. He wants to address all issues, so Maithili rants about how he keeps distancing himself without any reason. He shaves off his mustache and joins Diwan and Maithili in the car. While she is impressed, Diwan feels like he will blow their cover. Is it too late to call off the mission? Maithili keeps walking away on Diwan's tours. Prem is worried because everything reminds her of the terrible things Vijay did. Diwan doesn't want Prem to go off script, but Prem knows Diwan doesn't have any experience with women. Diwan takes them to a part of the court, where the late king spent quality time with the queen. Maithili remembers a night she arranged for a special barbecue for Vijay. They had a fight because he didn't understand her feelings and was unwilling to discuss them. Prem lists down more complaints as they watch a puppet show. Maithili somewhat warms up to him when a camel eats his diary and he begs the animal to give it back. How does that happen? Sanjay arranges for Prem to have unhealthy food in secret because he's tired of boiled food. Maithili catches him eating junk food, but Prem claims he secretly defies doctor's instructions. Maithili loves this carefree version of him. She offers him water, but he wants to drink from the tap after making some kids drink it. Maithili finds Chandrika in the market and runs to hug her. She gifts Chandrika a silver bracelet she bought for her. Chandrika throws the bracelet and leaves Maithili feeling embarrassed in public. Sanjay explains that Chandrika and Maithili studied at the same boarding school. They were friends once, but Chandrika broke all ties with her after her engagement to Vijay. Chandrika is determined to live a simple life and heads the accounts department of a small school. Prem brings a lot of household items and supplies as gifts for them. He wants to pamper Vijay's sisters and asks Chandrika to forget the past. Chandrika calls Pandari again to discuss this. She refuses to accept charity from the king's son when she is the mistress's daughter. She kicks and throws all his gifts in anger. Such a waste of useful items. Kanhaiya keeps Samira distracted with an elaborate photo shoot. Even Chirag is getting ready for the guests. Ajay reminds them the coronation is in a day, but Chirag is sure he can come up with a plan. He watches as Sanjay sneaks out to give some food in secret to the watchman, Chaudhary. Diwan is upset about the ruckus Prem created at Vijay's sister's place. He has another function near their house that day, and asks Prem to behave. He will surely listen to him this time. Maithili is waiting for Vijay in his office. I mean Prem, or Vijay as Prem. This is too confusing. She has sneaked in some junk food before the function because she knows he likes it. She also feels bad about listing down all her complaints because she believes he truly loves her. She knows he tried to mend things with his sisters because of her. Diwan calls them to the function earlier to discuss some details with the fake prince. He gives Prem a folder for his speech and informs him about the schedule for that day. Prem gets distracted by Maithili writing Vijay's name with flowers. Radhika wants to head out for football practice, but Chandrika refuses to let her. She feels they should not be seen supporting Vijay's function in any way. She hands Radhika some errands instead, so Radhika angrily destroys Maithili's flower arrangements with her football. Maithili wants to redo it, but Prem promises her that he will make Radhika help her with it. He asks for Maithili's permission to forget that he's a king for one day and behave like a villager. This will surely end, with all the lies merging with the truths. Maithili is more than happy to play along and offers her full support. Prem takes over the stage for his speech, but makes it clear he doesn't want to bore the audience. He knows Radhika and Chandrika can hear him when he claims he wants to play football with the guests. He pretends he's trying to honor the original purpose for which the ground was built. Very smooth indeed. He challenges the men in the crowd to form a team. He pretends to insult the women because it seems like Maithili will get inspired to form her own team. Maithili does manage to trigger the women, and they all start playing. Diwan tries to intervene, but they make him join the women's team. They're probably better off without him. They start dancing around the football, but the men initially take over. It starts raining, and Radhika is frustrated that she has to work when the women's team is losing. Ajay gets some good news from Chirag in the middle, and leaves the function. Prem and Maithili have teamed up well, and make sure Radhika gets angry enough to join them on the field. She warms up to Maithili and shoots some impressive goals to help the losing women's team win. She warms up to Vijay also and hugs them in celebration. Chandrika watches Radhika helping Maithili with the flowers and angrily walks towards them. She takes Radhika home and asks her to start packing. Prem stops her from leaving the house, but she doesn't believe he cares. She thinks he doesn't know what they're going through. Chandrika had watched her mom cry behind closed doors while the king celebrated his life with his queen. Now she wants a right to the same palace where she grew up, and feels Vijay can never give that to her. Thankfully, Prem is not Vijay. Prem is glad she shared all this, and promises to make her wish come true. Diwan is angry at Prem for assuming he could hand over the palace. Prem is worried about the sisters' happiness, but Diwan refuses to take instructions from anyone who is not Vijay. Diwan asks Sanjay to throw them out of the palace since he doesn't need Prem anymore. He is tired of Prem messing everything up for him. Vijay already knows about the cover-up and should be fit enough to attend the coronation. They have also found Chutan and know he will confess about the attackers once they force him. Diwan gets a call from the doctors, who inform him that Vijay is missing. They find a note from anonymous kidnappers and Chaudhary's body from the roof. Diwan's asthma attack gets triggered, and he needs medical help. Prem feels bad about adding to his stress and comes to check on him. Diwan knows Vijay will be safe till they have Chutan in their custody. Ajay knows he can't harm Vijay because Diwan will make Chutan confess all his secrets in public. Diwan looks at a photo of the late king and feels regret that he couldn't unite his children. He remembers the time all the children lived together in the Palace of Mirrors. The king built that palace especially so all the children could enjoy their childhood. The palace is a symbol of the children's innocence for the king. He knows it's his fault that their mothers are different, but he wants their hearts to unite and always live together in that palace. Look how well that is going. All the kids grow up playing with each other. Ajay's mother is jealous of the king's mistress, who plays music at the palace. The kids don't let Chandrika snap pictures, so Ajay pushes her aside. Chandrika pushes him back, and he almost falls from a height. Vijay does his best to save Ajay's life, and Diwan finally helps him back to safety. Ajay's mother slaps Chandrika and feels her mother taught her to kids. From that point, she refuses to tolerate the king's first wife's son, Vijay, and his mistress. As all the kids go their separate ways, the Palace of Mirrors soon gets shut down. Diwan knows a troubled childhood has made everyone sour. He feels the brothers and sisters are now turning against each other. Who could have guessed that? He requests Prem to stick around for a while and do whatever it takes to bring the siblings together. Finally, some hope. Chandrika and Radhika turn up at Vijay's coronation. Ajay has heard that the imposter is giving them the palace and doesn't like it. Pandari officiates the ceremony, but he reads out a message from the future king. Prem has asked him to declare that the palace and all the royal family's properties should be divided equally among all brothers and sisters. Maithili knows Chandrika is warming up after this gesture. She drags her so she can help with Vijay's coronation. Chandrika tears up, and the sisters are finally reunited with their fake brother. Prem makes them a part of all his ceremonies, but Ajay doesn't look too happy. The sisters even start pampering him. Such a picture-perfect moment with a fake brother. Maithili's smile is back because she can be playful with Chandrika again. Maithili is impressed that Vijay knows how to cook too and teases him. He doesn't. Don't get your hopes up. She admits she's acting more freely with him because she is finally happy. She insists on joining him on the floor and wants to share all her ups and downs with him. Maithili is in love and thinks they should fix a date for the wedding. Prem insists her grandma should fix it as per the tradition. She hugs him and feels like he's a different man who has come to save her. If only she knew. She doesn't care who he is because she wants to flirt with him and make him write the complaints she has on her back that day. What a weird request. He hesitates but takes the quill to pretend to write how much she is in love with him now. He feels guilty as she keeps throwing herself at him. She takes him to the place where she fought with Vijay last time and wants to get intimate with him. He keeps resisting her and feels like he has no right to be with her. He claims his love in these last few days is fake, but she can tell from his eyes it isn't. Prem fools Diwan by pretending he is Vijay and takes off his mustache later. He feels he can deceive everyone, but he doesn't want to lie to Maithili anymore. He feels it was wrong for him to stay back for so long and wants to reunite Maithili with Vijay. Sanjay takes them to Chirag, who feels they made a clever plan with Prem. He knows all about Prem and what he does. He thinks Diwan's biggest mistake was to put an elderly man like Chaudhary on Vijay's watch. He explains how he murdered Chaudhary and kidnapped Vijay easily. He wants to take Prem to Vijay and asks for Chutan's freedom in return. He also wants Prem and Kanhaiya to play their roles for a bit longer to fool all the people. Diwan knows Chirag is even betraying Ajay, but Prem insists he wants to go with Chirag. Maithili dresses up and looks for her fiancé, but Prem leaves a note informing her that he's getting her wedding gift. Chirag shows him the abandoned Palace of Mirrors where Vijay is trapped, and Ajay is celebrating Chutan's return. Chirag brings Prem to Ajay and asks him to get dressed as the late king and take pictures with Kanhaiya. Chirag explains his plan to Prem about making the two brothers fight. He wants one of them to perish and the other to end up in jail, so he can enjoy their riches. He takes Prem to a room of illusions and gives him the key to free Vijay. Prem opens Vijay's shackles, but he tries to attack him for getting close to Maithili. Prem clarifies that he didn't do anything wrong and just wants Vijay back with his family. Vijay refuses to believe he has a real family because of the way his siblings treat him. He wants to murder Ajay too, but Prem asks him to show some mercy for Maithili's sake. Vijay is determined Ajay needs to be punished, but he's willing to give him a fighting chance for Prem. Prem tries to run after Ajay, but Chirag has trapped him in a maze of mirrors he can't get out of. Chirag sends his men to attack Prem while Vijay engages in a sword fight with Ajay. Vijay clearly has the upper hand and can never go all the way while attacking Ajay. But when Ajay drops a chandelier at him that he dodges, Vijay gets angry again. They keep hitting each other till Prem spots them from one of the doors. He finds his way out and reminds Vijay he shouldn't attack his brother. Vijay claims Ajay is his enemy, so Prem starts beating Ajay too. Vijay gets angry at Prem and attacks him. Prem reminds him he's defending a brother he just thought was his enemy. He knows Vijay is angry because he's lonely, and Ajay feels neglected. He asks Ajay to understand that a brother who loves him so much can't possibly deny any of his wishes. Chirag is ready to gun them down, but Kanhaiya moves his gun. Ajay still falls from the palace by accident, but Vijay's hand keeps holding it like it did when they were kids. Ajay knows he loves him and alerts Vijay when someone is attacking him. While Prem fights Chirag and his men, Kanhaiya helps ward off his other men from Vijay. He successfully saves Ajay's life, and they forgive each other with a hug. Chirag still wants to attack them, but he trips and falls on the chandelier. Maithili is wearing Vijay's favorite dress that night and is excited to meet him. Or Prem? Diwan apologizes for deceiving her and explains that she has been spending time with someone else. She finds the real Vijay in his office, who apologizes for the embarrassment she had to go through. When Prem comes by, Vijay asks Maithili to wait in another room. Maithili watches as Prem comes to meet Vijay before he leaves for home. She hears Vijay laughing about all the traditions Prem broke while he was pretending to be him. She learns that Prem gave up the mustache just to please her. Vijay wants to thank him for his help, but Prem just asks Vijay to be the kind of companion Maithili deserves. She also notices that Prem is leaving some sweets for her with a donation box for her foundation. She runs to watch Prem leaving downstairs. Prem hugs Diwan and asks him to visit anytime. Before he sits in Sanjay's car, he looks at Maithili and waves at her. Chaubey has learned about Prem's connections with the king and hopes he invites him over. Maithili's grandma comes to visit Prem and thanks him for reuniting the royal family again. In exchange for his generosity, she presents Maithili as a gift in return. Vijay explains that he tried his best to be the man Maithili wanted after Prem left. He listened to her and realized that she wanted to marry Prem. He still feels Maithili belongs to the royal family, but Vijay and his siblings want Prem to include them in their family. Chandrika and Radhika want to honor him on Brother's Day, and even Ajay hugs him. Vijay is glad to hand over Maithili to Prem, and they end up together. As they continue their romance in Prem's neighborhood, even Samira marries Kanhaiya.